Okay, so this is the Solid Waste and Recycling Commission meeting on April 11th. We just said the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence, and the attendees are going to identify themselves. First, the commissioners around the table.
Andrew Becker. Joseph Pagnosi.
Mike Pasowitz. Tim Besler.
Kirsten Itala.
Say outside.
Kirsten Itala.
Kirsten. John Cortell is also here from the Public Works Department. Myself, Hugh Dolan, and our guests tonight.
I'm Becky Bunnell. I am the chair of the Food and Sustainable Fairfield Task Force.
I'm sorry?
Becky Bunnell, chair of the Sustainable Fairfield Task Force, Food and Waste.
Okay, Becky.
John Mazzaro, United Home Sanitation.
Okay, John.
James Garcia, United Carting Company.
Jamie. And on the phone we have...
Misty Byer.
Call it. Okay, thank you. We need to act on the February minutes. Everybody got a copy of the minutes? You saw it, Joe?
Yeah.
You got a copy of the minutes? Any comment on the, I need a motion to discuss the February minutes?
Make a motion.
Okay. Joe, you seconded it?
No, I abstained, I wasn't there.
No, to discuss it, to discuss
Oh, to
it.
discuss?
Discuss
Yes,
it.
I'll second it.
Any comments on the February minutes? Corrections, addendum, Tim? Anything?
No comments.
Michael?
Yeah.
Andrew? Okay, I need a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll make that motion to accept them. I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, the February minutes are unanimously passed. Josephine is obviously not with us today, so she'll be preparing the minutes from tonight's meeting the same way by recording, okay? Two complaints we received, which I think I want the commissioners to discuss. One is about the fees for dropping off things at the solid waste. One member of the public got a hold of me and was complaining, and John, I need your input on this, was complaining that they didn't have a sticker, they can't get their sticker, and they're a taxpayer, and they've been using the place for 30 years or whatever, and they were turned away because they didn't have a sticker. So apparently the stickers go from May till May.
No,
and you need a different
January.
sticker.
I got mine in January.
I got mine in January.
Yeah.
So you can get it in January. So,
Yeah.
so what is the issue about it expiring in May or getting?
No issue. That's false flag.
What's that?
It's false.
There was, I think maybe a slight delay in December or something like that while they were waiting for the stickers to come out, because they come out with the beach stickers. We extended the ability to use the previous year's stickers until they came in. We gave the people a full month for them to access it.
So that went to what? Through January?
Yeah, that's what I got.
This current year.
Yeah.
Calendar year. So people had an opportunity to go and get their stickers.
Did they have a problem going down to the rec center to get it, or they could do it online? They can get it online.
No, the problem was they came into the transfer station,
Yeah.
and they were turned away at the scale.
Yeah,
Because they didn't have a sticker.
They don't have a sticker. Yeah, they have a sticker.
I personally was down there in early January, and the stickers hadn't been issued yet. We get ours automatically because we're all signed up. And I think it was like the third week in January that they came in. But before, in that part of January, they would, if you had last year's sticker, they would let you in.
Okay.
But whoever the person was doesn't know how to deal with the sticker.
Okay.
And they have to, once they sign up.
Well, I told them to contact Lisa to
Well,
straighten it out, right?
I'm sure she was there and told them that
She wasn't there, I guess, that day, but she heard about it a couple of days later, because I did mention it to her.
Yeah, but the stickers are issued by the rec park.
Yeah.
Parks, rec, so you have to go down there. That's where they have to go.
If they're not
Okay.
signed up, they've got to go down at least one
Yeah.
time and get it set up, and then from that
Yeah,
on,
Lisa can.
it'll be automatic after that.
Okay. Mike, you had a question about, I had provided the commissioners a copy of the FOI, statutes, which the, town, clerk gave us. And I gave it to everybody so that everybody's aware of what's going on. One of the other comments that somebody down in town, in this building, said was that they were concerned that members of our commission were meeting with other departments and other groups in town, and some of them even going down to the transfer station, speaking as if they're from our commission. So did you want to discuss that at all?
My question was, why did that come up? Why, you brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
No,
The question was,
I
why don't you explain the purpose of you bringing this to our attention?
well, that's the purpose, is I didn't want any of our commissioners to get caught with other people from other groups representing a commission that could be construed to be a meeting, and it wasn't a meeting.
So as far as you know, no one on this committee has done that.
I don't know that, I wasn't there, so I don't know that anybody was,
Well,
but,
I guess my question is, what did this person say? Because if somebody is doing that, we should investigate it and figure.
well, I don't think there's any reason to, I think the town clerk advised us to make sure all the commissioners are aware of what the requirements are, and aware that any meeting of more than one person of the committee or the subcommittee.
This creates a great amount of confusion.
More than one person?
This creates, what you're bringing up creates a great amount of confusion, because you send this out as if something occurred, and you can't even say what it was. So I'm confused. Did somebody do something inappropriate? Because, you can't just, now I'm guessing. You're making
Well,
a guess.
there's no reason to guess. It's very clear that all meetings have to be recorded. One of the things we're going to discuss are the meetings of the subcommittee. They have to be recorded too. Those minutes have to be recorded also.
I know, I think you're incorrect on
I
that.
think that's wrong.
You do?
It's not a quorum.
We were very careful in our subcommittee of 3 people, Misty and Mike and I, we are very careful. There's only 3 of us in our committee meetings, but it's my understanding a subcommittee does not need a recording secretary.
Well,
I mean.
Yeah, but hold on, they have to report back to the old.
Right,
we
have reported.
I'm going on thin ice, I've been on this a long time. Sometimes I think what we're concerned about is if these so many subcommittees walk on thin ice, and they might be saying things or doing things that might not be appropriate.
The subcommittee has no power.
I'm not saying that
The
happens.
subcommittee has no power to do anything. Anything we want to do, we bring it here like we did with this to get a vote.
Yeah,
We did it twice.
Right, right.
We don't do, we have no authority to do
Right.
anything.
And you're
I think that's all he
designated
was-
you're designated based on the commission, the
Correct. Yes,
thing,
yes, we were-
and the FOIA rule says it's a quorum, so if 2 people bump into each other and say something, that's okay, because it's not a quorum.
It's always very difficult to monitor that, but that's just the worry, that's all it was.
wait a minute, hey, Kristen, what do you mean if 2 people bump into each other and say something?
So I think what part of the concern was, and I'm new to this in terms of, I was reading all this going, what happened? So
Confusion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because generally under the FOIA rule, public open meetings, right, you have to have a quorum. So any casual gathering, even if it was a social gathering, if it was 4 of us, because I believe that would be a quorum, then that could, I don't know, everybody decides to go to a bar afterwards and have a drink, and that could be construed by members of the public as a meeting because it is 4 commissioners making up a quorum.
But it's not.
Hang on.
But it's not,
Right.
exactly, and so that's where confusion comes in.
Because the agenda hasn't been submitted, hasn't been.
Right, because it
time and all
wasn't a
that,
formal
yeah.
meeting,
Exactly.
and the concern comes up when people meet casually,
Right.
and people misconstrue that meeting as
Yeah.
a meeting conducting the business of the commission. So generally, the FOIA statute says if it's a multi-member commission and that meeting, that chance meeting or whatever kind of meeting it is, has to be a quorum in order to establish a public meeting. So I think that's why when you're establishing subcommittees, you have to be very careful
Right.
about making sure you're not creating a quorum of members who then.
Well, so if,
Well, you and I and Mike could go out afterwards and be perfectly
Social.
fine, because we are 3 people, not 4.
wait, I don't agree with that.
So you don't agree?
So
That's the rule.
three people would constitute a subcommittee. A subcommittee meeting needs an
Yeah,
agenda,
subcommittee.
needs posted on the website.
But
You need
that's
an
part of-
agenda and you need minutes
Correct,
to
but
it.
that's part of the commission's business, and the subcommittee designated by the commission.
Correct,
Right.
but right now the subcommittee is meeting like at will and not posting on the web. If you have like Board of Finance and they have a Board of Finance, the Finance Committee for it,
Those are elected, that's different than elected.
it's not a difference because it's
No, it's
proposed
not
under the
elected.
same,
It's
the
not
same
different.
town charter.
it's
So-
not different.
So,
No, there
we're
are no
supposed-
constraints on anybody meeting. It's-
No, but there's supposed to be
Yeah.
for the subcommittee, there is supposed to be, it is supposed to be posted on the website.
Yes.
There's supposed to
Yeah.
be an agenda
And
to it,
we
and
have
there's
to
supposed to
know
be
that.
minutes taken
Yeah.
and then reported back.
And you have to designate the time it starts and the time it ends, and
Right.
if that.
Two members can meet,
Yeah.
2 members can meet and talk. 3 members would make it not okay, is my understanding.
Well, but the committee is not the multi-member public agency, it's a subcommittee, so I think that's where the confusion is.
But the subcommittees have to be sanctioned by the commission as a body overall.
Right.
Every other commission that has subcommittee meetings are posted on the
But
website.
because we don't have a quorum on our subcommittee, we therefore don't have to post the meeting. Now, we do have to come back and report to the
But,
committee.
no, that's not true.
That-
That's not
it is-
true.
It is true.
No, because if you don't have a quorum, then you shouldn't be.
But it's not a meeting of the
We're
commission.
having
Yeah,
a
it's not a
meeting
meeting.
to
What we're
inform.
doing-
Having an off the books discussion is not okay for more than
It's
2
not a
people.
quorum, no, we can't do
But
business.
more than 2 members of this commission are not supposed to meet.
Okay.
Please, show me where it says.
Okay.
Okay, Chairman.
The statute says that it's a quorum of the commission.
Right.
So the commission can designate a committee, and the committee can meet to do the
Yes.
business of the commission at the commission's
Right.
direction.
Which
and
we've
they-
said.
Right,
Okay.
but the quorum wouldn't be of the subcommittee, it would be of the commission itself. I think that's
Yeah,
what.
it's always the commission, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now, certain commissions may have decided to avoid the appearance of a meeting that isn't public. We'll never have, we'll extend the rules of FOIA to the subcommittee as well. But technically, the statute itself is the commission itself.
Well, I think for safety, Kristen, I appreciate that, I think for safety, when I spoke with the town clerk, she was very clear, she said, provide you with the information and make sure that the meetings don't occur. The issue particularly was a member of our commission and a member of another commission in town, which is not part of our commission. And some people interpreted that as being a member of a meeting of our commission, but it wasn't.
What other people interpret, though, is really not, the fact that people can interpret anything they want. It's
I understand,
what is the law and
but I
what
think
is
for
the-
safety, I think that we should follow
We
it.
will never get any business done. See, sometimes people on the subcommittee, and to be honest with you, not me, but I know others have, and it's okay to go out and learn, to educate yourself about the business. To show up at the dump, as I call it, you want to call it,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. I'm
Transfer
sorry. Transfer station.
To show up at John
You want to show
Force
up there and talk to people about what's going on in the community and give their opinion. That's self-educating so that you can learn about what's going on in the waste world, and then bring it back and make good decisions when you're on the commission.
I agree with you. I think what we want to eliminate is the possibility, I'll go down there and I ask questions, I'll talk to Lisa, I'll talk to John, I'll talk to by myself. You can go down, he can go down.
But you don't have to, you're creating something that's not needed.
But when 2 or 3 people go down, I don't want the appearance or the impression.
So you're making different rules. Is that
No,
what you're doing right
I'm
now?
not making different rules. I
You
just
are.
want to make,
Sure.
I don't believe I am. Go ahead.
I need to ask a question first. If the 3 people on our subcommittee went together down to the transfer station, that is not a quorum, correct?
It's not a quorum of
That
the
is-
commission, that's correct.
Yeah, and matter of fact, the 3 of us went, I guess you couldn't make
I
it.
didn't.
We went down
We've never done it.
we went down to to visit the food waste in the food composter down in Stanford. members of our committee went down, Becky and members of Sustainable Fairfield went down, but that was not a meeting, we were
Well,
getting.
Sustainable
gathering
Fairfield is not
information.
part of our commission.
I understand that.
Okay.
But she has every right to go down, we were getting an education, and she was getting an education.
And I'm
Well,
a
working
liaison to your
together.
committee, by the way.
What's that?
I'm a liaison to your committee,
Right.
the same way your committee is a liaison to Sustainable Fairfield.
That's right.
That's the way we work together, and that's why we share the information.
And
But
we-
I'm not a member of your commission.
And we have no power to do anything. We're trying to get information and make substantive changes if we can, and the things we've talked about are so far, education and food waste and glass.
Well, it's exactly
Can I-
that point that you're trying to make changes and substantive changes, which are going to change, which we're not against. Nobody's saying, but those changes that you're positing or want to posit are going to make changes, dynamic changes to Fairfield, to the town of Fairfield.
They
And we
can't,
brought
they
it here, we brought it here.
can't
We're
make
not
it,
talking about
they
that.
don't have a quorum.
Yeah, we're-
Can I
we're
ask
talking about
the three members on the committee, what party affiliation? Are you all Democrats?
Why does that even matter?
Because three is the caucus,
Subcommittee?
three is the caucus.
No, it's
as a-
published.
On a subcommittee that was chosen by the commission.
So my concern is not the subcommittee, my concern is that I think it needs to have an agenda and minutes to it.
And really, what would be the difference if three people of the same party?
Because three of the same party would be a caucus.
They can't do business. They can't do business.
It's not about that, it's about being able to meet or
I
not,
can answer
that's
that
all.
question, if you can go online, you're listed as a Republican, I'm listed as a Democrat.
Okay.
And Misty is listed as a Democrat.
So it's my
And this
understanding
committee
that
has
having
four
the
Democrats.
subcommittee formed like that is totally fine, but I think that, based on what I've read, I think that you need to have an agenda and minutes, that's all.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, let's
Go.
make it clear so our passions don't go crazy here. A subcommittee has to report to the commission, and they have to give their purpose and their methods of what they're going to do, time and place. That's it.
Okay.
Anything else, we can socialize, we can talk about anything. But as a subcommittee, we have to prove it. We have to vote it.
Right.
And we have to know
That's basically what Chris is
what you're going to
saying.
investigate. Yeah, you could spend 10 hours, but we have to know that,
Well,
and vote on it.
let me just.
I don't wanna hear from people that, oh, your committee was down here with so-and-so, so-and-so,
You
and
can't
they were talking about
prevent
that.
People.
I understand, Mike, I understand, which is why I brought it to you. And I don't wanna get it from the
Yeah, but
town
we can't
attorney.
change the rules because they're.
I'm not asking you. I think the rules of, I think we have the right to simply say, what Joe and Kirsten said, is that what the subcommittee is going to do or intending to do, we should be a part of or informed, and then follow, and then be informed when it's finished or when it's done.
And that's what we have been doing. And that's what you should have told the person, was yes, we have a subcommittee, they're working on some projects and they're bringing information back to the commission, and the commission therefore makes decisions and then votes on it. So that's what you should tell the person, not, again, create confusion for other people, what's out there. You know we're not going out and doing business, we can't.
Yeah, they can't.
You know,
Can I say just a little something on that?
Misty was trying to.
Hold on. Misty,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I have been down to the transfer station a number of times. I've been down there with a high school group to show them, do a little education and see, if they were, interested in this topic and to do anything in their schools, just to show them how the transfer station works. I've been down there to look at the bottle collection and, to see what kind of, just because I think we all need to sort of get an eye on what's going on down there. I've also been down there and spent some time with Lisa and have been, looking at what's being thrown in the recycled, in the recycle containers, because we're doing some outreach and education. We've been asked to talk at the library, what's in, what's out. We're working on cleaning the stream, right? That is our something that we're interested in.
When you
So I
talk
think
to the library,
so for
are you
us
talking as a member of the
I
commission?
totally agree with Michael that, we need information. And I think if we're just going out and getting information about what's going on in the transfer station, we're not trying to develop policy or develop, anything under any, everything that we do is transparent. We're trying to get information. So I
Misty, can we go
with
back?
Michael.
can we go backwards? When you're talking to the libraries, to the schools, are you talking as a member of the commission?
She's always a member of the commission.
I'm always a member of the commission. What do you mean?
No,
I'm not
are you
saying,
speaking as a member of the commission? Or are
Yeah,
you
doing
speaking as a member of the public?
I'm speaking as a concerned member of the community, and I'm on the commission.
Yeah.
Is there
Okay.
a problem with that, you?
If
there a problem
the message,
with-
if the message is as a member of the commission, I don't know that there's a problem, but the message should be cleared through the commission before we make a presentation to the libraries or to the students.
I mean, if you ever go to, no, that's true, though, if you ever go to.
If I go to Holland Hill School as a member of the fire department, and I teach them how to run, jump, and fly as a member of the fire department, I think I would have a little bit of problems because the fire department hasn't authorized that, right? But if they've trained me how to teach them how to stop, drop, and roll, and I go to them and teach them stop, drop, and roll as a member of the fire department, I'm in good. That's all I'm saying. And I think that's all we're trying to say, is that if something's going to happen as a member of the commission, or representing the commission, it's good. I'm not against what Mike says, to go out and find out information. An individual person obviously can go and find out information, but when they're doing it and somehow people get the idea that the commission says this, or the commission wants to do this, or the commission is pushing this, then that's where I think miscommunication could happen.
Okay. Well, okay, so how would you like me to present? Do you want me to send you the PowerPoint that I'm doing, or visuals? What would you like me to do in terms of, sharing information?
Well, that
with
would
the group?
Have to be on the agenda, and then.
Yeah,
present it.
send it to me on the agenda, and then we'll put it on the next month, and then we'll discuss it, because I don't even know what the presentation is. I'm just giving you a general overview, that's all.
Or in the alternative,
Or
you
do it
could say,
in public.
exactly, do you ever go to a presentation
That's fine.
and there's somebody
Yeah.
from a government agency to say, I'm a member of such and such government agency, but the views that I'm going to give you today are my own, and that's.
That's what,
that's
right,
what
exactly,
you do.
because when she speaks like that, she's
Yeah.
speaking for every one of us, and we might have a little different opinion on something.
But she wouldn't be speaking on our behalf.
Well, no,
She's speaking
the way you
on
said it,
behalf of
yes,
herself.
that's the way it should be presented.
But when,
Yeah.
the concern I have is
Right.
when one of us go down to the transfer station,
Yeah,
see something we don't like,
Right,
and then 3 days later, we're at a school saying, you don't get thrown away at the transfer station.
that's right.
That's
inappropriate.
is a message from us as a commission,
Yeah, that's right,
that,
and that's why you have to.
that we don't
say
like
it.
something, we're gonna change it.
Right.
And we may not be changing it,
Right.
because
So
we
we
may
have
not,
to- we have to
we may
know.
not even like it.
We have to be informed.
We don't, that,
Right, so it's just, there's a distinction between acting as a member of the public versus your role as a
Exactly.
commissioner, and then that's sort of.
so that we're clear, we're not against information or understanding and understanding what our roles are, but we are, and the reason I sent out the information is that everything that we do in the public is open for freedom of information access. And they have a right to know who we're discussing, who we're discussing it with, and where we're getting these ideas, and who's promoting these agendas. They have a right to know that.
And-
The public has the right to know that.
Right, and I think the more people in the public that know about this approved education, the better. And I think the other major thing we've done so far in the subcommittee, getting this passed, the other thing is, and John really did more than anyone, get that glass-only container. I've told a lot of people about that. I've been down there 8 times myself, and I've got recycle in my condo. I don't have to drive all the way down here. This is fantastic stuff, but if you're saying we can't go out and tell people
No,
about this.
no, that's not what it is.
I'm not, we're not saying that.
That's not.
That's a sticker that we approved, and anybody can pass it out on any corner they want to.
Well,
I don't understand why we're discussing this if there was no real, misuse of authority out there.
I haven't
Why
said
are we
anybody's misusing
Then why
it.
is this such a drawn-out topic? Why are we,
Mike, you asked to put on the agenda.
because you sent out
That's it.
reference to a Connecticut general statute.
Exactly, and that was
Implying
my,
in your email that maybe other people are out there doing this.
no, I didn't say anything about that.
But I didn't get anything, that's my interpretation.
Okay, I'm sorry,
I didn't get
I
anything
didn't
else
say,
out of that. What else would you get out of that?
simply to review this, the commissioners have to review this, so that they're aware that we don't go over the line on presenting ourselves or having a meeting that we didn't intend to have interpreted as a meeting.
Well, and maybe we should talk, the one thing that, whether, if I'm hearing that our subcommittee should be disbanded, which I think I saw on the agenda for the meeting that didn't happen, you know, I personally would be okay with that as long as I could, someone gave me a task to do and a task to try to improve things in this town. The only reason I joined this commission, and I think most of us feel like this, is to help improve recycling and solid waste in our community. We can't do it in Connecticut, we can't do it in the world, we can do it here. I've been, you know, if it's not gonna be a subcommittee, at least I wanna be able to do something positive to improve things in the town.
We're all on the same page, and we all wanna do the same thing, but we all wanna do it the right way. We don't want to.
Again, I don't think we did it the wrong way.
No, I'm not saying.
If we had no more than 3 people on our subcommittee, I don't think we did anything
But
wrong.
subcommittees are temporal, so when they're
Yeah,
finished, we know about it, that's it.
Right.
But we have to approve of that. We did approve that subcommittee, we voted on it, right?
We did, yeah.
So, and, did we vote how long it would sustain
No,
itself?
that was one of the things that we're going to put on for the next month's agenda, is the final report and the recommendations.
Yeah, I think you have to make those grounds.
Because it doesn't have, it's not an everlasting,
Right.
it's a specific purpose of subcommittee.
All right, let's move
Okay,
on.
any other comments? Okay, old business. So, Tim, you're up.
Report of subcommittee.
Report of the subcommittee, I'm sorry.
That's it. Report of subcommittee.
We had Misty could do that as well, but we had on, I think it was, March 8th, we had a subcommittee Zoom. We talked about a lot of things. I think the only substantive actionable item on it, that we would like to get some of this educational information on our website, the Solid Waste and Recycling Commission's website. There's really nothing
No, we don't.
there. There's nothing there.
Who manages that?
That's the town.
Well, Misty, she knows, I think Misty knows the person that does the website, but we need to find out who manages it and get some of these things up there. So when people go on the website, they can see more than, they can see our names, they can see our party affiliation, our meeting agendas and all that. There should also be some information. We saw some other towns' websites that have a lot of good educational stuff up there. And so that's the one thing that we would like to find out. Do we need a vote on that? Do we need an approval to get it on that website?
Well, we don't have it, so we need someone to look into that and see.
Well, what we need to know.
We'll do that.
Yeah, what we need to know is Misty?
Yes, I think what Tim and Michael and I would like to do is to look at the website in ways we can cut out the redundant information, ways we can update some of the information that's there to make it 2022.
Well, hang on one minute. Who manages the website right now?
I can't, okay, her name is, I don't know, I mean, Melody May, something like that, and she, it works for the town. It's the guy, it's the one that does all of the website.
Could I suggest that I find out and get back to you?
Well, what
Get back to you guys.
That'd be great.
I'm gonna,
What
Mike,
town department runs?
I don't know. I don't know.
don't even know that.
Do you want me to send you her contact information?
What?
Yes, you can
You
send
want
it to me, to my email.
Okay, I'll send you her contact information, and our subcommittee should just hold on, or what do you want us to do?
Yeah, and I'll get it to Tim and Mike.
I thought I mean, in the interim, I think what our plan was to come up with some ideas to present to the commission of, what to place on the website.
Yeah, but I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I want to know who's managing it.
Yeah,
No,
we
but
could work on it
I
at
would
the same
agree,
time.
I would agree, I think if you had some content that you thought should be up there,
Right.
some links and stuff, and then we could then bring that to them and say, hey, here's what we
Right.
think we'd like to
Tim,
see on
like,
there.
one of the things we're
for
thinking,
approval.
I would hoping that they had screen here, I would show it up on the screen, is really just taking the website as it is and adding like this flyer, you know, like.
Right, yeah.
You know, adding this flyer to the front of it.
Yeah.
There's space, if you look at the pages.
That's no problem.
There's space.
Who does that?
So something.
Right, with a
I'm
link for a
thinking keep it
PDF that they could print.
simple.
I'll find out.
Keep it simple.
Because I went on West Hartford, I went on Bristol, they have all kinds of, one of them has an interactive, site where you could say, I want to get rid of this. Type it in, and it'll tell you exactly what department to go to, how to get rid of it, and everything else. or glasses or whatever. So, I mean, it's all kinds of things.
We have to work with what we got here.
And we don't
We
need
do, that's right, we don't wanna make, we
Yeah, I
don't
think
wanna present it.
John has some input on
No, but find out who does this.
Keep it simple. In
Okay,
the interim, we'll come up with some thoughts and we'll bring them back and, you know, we'll see where we go from there.
okay.
Your department has
John,
this stuff.
yeah, you,
Like,
John,
John can,
It
yeah,
goes to
department.
my department, I think whether, I'm not sure if it's an individual.
Okay.
In the library that helps manage it, I don't know the exact.
This, he's gonna send me the contact that he has, and I'll talk to
It goes to
you.
my department.
Do you have
And then
a
I'll send it
video
to you,
of
too.
somebody going through the transfer station showing, oh, this is where you put glasses? That might be a good idea. Get an actor to do
You
it
give
or
me
something.
the information that you want to put up,
Okay,
you know, and I'll get it to the.
Okay,
person,
good.
put it up.
We got it.
But isn't that what the committee was doing? They were preparing a list of information, to bring to the commission.
okay, next item is, the-
Right.
John, the status of the roof.
Continue to work. We'll continue to work on it.
All right, status of the roof, very frustrating.
And also talk about the, compactor.
Yeah, I'll
quick.
go through a whole.
Please.
Roof, it's very frustrating. The vendor will put one individual there. I think he gave him a helper one day who was his first day on the job, and then the guy left. So where I would expect them to put a team of people on there to finish it up, which wouldn't take them long to do, for some reason they're not doing that. So they've been going very slow at it. We've asked them for an updated, schedule from them. They were supposed to respond to us by today, and I haven't heard anything by the end of close.
Did we have any protection in the
Was
contract?
this, yeah, was this a bid, or was this,
No, this is a bid. It
so
was
is there
a-
performance bond on it?
There's a bid, and there's a bond on it.
Is it 9 weeks tomorrow?
It could be.
I think Jamie already knew the answer to that question.
I know I'm extremely frustrated.
There's the lowest possible bidder?
Always.
Oh, well, this is why we're having trouble with the compactor.
Let's go to that next. Let's go, let John talk. One second.
We went with the bidder. There's an issue with the supply chain for getting the material for the roof. That's
You mean the roofing material?
The roofing material.
Yeah.
So that went through a whole process. We were almost about to, start getting the attorney involved in it, and as well as the engineering firm who gave us the specs on it. They came up with an alternative that they'd be able to get the, alternative, equivalent type of material, still is, stainless.
What are we talking about? Steel? We talking about steel,
It's aluminum roof.
the decking?
Just the roof.
The roof material.
They had a problem getting the steel decking?
Yes, that type of roofing. So that delayed it initially. They eventually then got, but this was before they actually started. So then they started. They have there's two portions of the roof that they do. There's a vertical portion and then there's a slope. They have completed the vertical portion. They had started the slope, but they're not given the proper manpower to expedite it.
Do you have a cost estimate on this? I didn't even.
I think it was $120,000 or
Did we,
something like that.
did we look at that? Did we see that?
This
No,
was-
we were
this
not
was
involved
a-
in it.
We're not
this
involved?
was a
Oh, that's
bid-
down, okay.
This was a bid that went out.
Okay.
It was bonded money.
Okay,
We went through the whole finance, RTM,
all right.
whole bid for it. It was one project of many. And I think $250,000 were bonded, and that took care of this roof. It paid for electrical upgrades, it paid for the bathroom upgrades, it paid for lighting. So there are several things that this addressed, as well as some fire code issues.
But the portion for the roof is.
But the portion for the roof is what's not done.
And that's a specific performance bond.
There was a bond for that, but when the supply issues, where they were supposed to have it done within a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
due to supply chain issues, then it was changed, okay, we'll go.
But,
There's a written change order to reflect the change in schedule.
I don't think there's a schedule to say this is the drop dead date. Now, we've been holding back money, obviously, until they finish.
Right.
we are holding back the payment?
Yeah, they're not paid in full yet.
Are they getting paid at all?
Yes, they've gotten paid for.
John, when
What
was
was
this bidded out?
the original?
When was this bidded out? When was it, last summer?
I think in the fall.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was in the fall.
What was the original projection from start to finish that they had? Do you remember offhand?
I don't.
6 weeks.
When they
Give
said
or take.
when they said that they were gonna get it done, it was usually.
So my problem is more, I understand the supply chain, but they should be held accountable 6 weeks from the day they started, right? And if we're at 9, then we have some issues. Yeah.
Was anybody there today working?
So.
You're gonna ignore my questions? I don't
No,
have.
hang on, wait.
So I know you're here.
You can't just jump in.
No, hang on, Jamie, John, the contract that we have with them, when was the start date for the construction?
Back in the fall.
Right, but when the supply chain issue happened.
So why are we all the way up to April?
Because they couldn't get the material.
And there's nothing in the contract about supply delays?
But you're gonna have,
That's force majeure.
yeah, so they're gonna get around that with the
But we
delay.
knew about supply problems back in October.
Well, not everybody, and that's,
I don't see the issue is less,
yeah.
the issue is more that when the day that they got them, that they should have been held accountable to that start date of 6 weeks.
Yeah,
They didn't mobilize until the material.
Which makes,
Oh, okay.
which makes sense.
So
But
what was
from that
the-
date of
Okay,
mobilization,
so
they
now
should be held
we're talking
accountable
about-
to the original contract.
Six
You know, the 6
Okay,
weeks of
so
the
now we're
original.
talking about manpower, we're talking about them applying to manpower, they have all the material now.
Correct.
It's not a supply chain issue anymore.
Correct.
They're
Okay.
not supplying the labor.
So now, why aren't they putting the manpower in there? And why are they being paid anything? I mean,
Well, I'm not paying them anything, so.
So there's a stalemate.
Is this a local company?
Sorry, so
Yes.
there was a bond, it's a performance bond, so
Uh,
that if they fail to perform, we can go get somebody else to perform and they're on the hook for the payment?
Yes.
Okay, so I think we have to have a conversation with them where we say, here's what the contract says, here's the performance bond, we would hate to have to call it your bond, because that just ends up being a big legal yucky mess.
Well, it could prevent them from getting a bond in the future for other
Yeah,
municipal
exactly.
bids. I mean, that's the biggest thing, I mean.
Yeah, so I mean, but that's the next discussion that we're gonna have to have.
do we want to have a couple
tonight.
people look at that?
Huh?
The discussion is to get the town attorney involved.
Yeah,
If they're not going to.
the
But that's
attorney-
Public Works
Has-
budget, right? Public Works, where's the budget on that? Where's the budget at? Public Works?
Solid waste.
So,
Yeah,
oh, it's part of solid waste.
It's a bond that was.
Right, it's formed, okay, because we went through that with the other.
okay, can we go to the next
I just have one
catastrophe
question.
is the
Hold on, I
compact?
have one question first.
Go ahead.
Is the town attorney, has he been notified about this process and what's happening?
He was
to date?
notified initially in the when we were having issues,
But not of the prolonged, we're 3 weeks past their drop dead and are they sending people on a daily basis at this point, just like one person?
For a while, yes, they would send one person every day.
And what about,
Or generally every day.
That's-
what about like last week and this week? Where are we at
Performance,
Yeah.
exactly.
where are we at like last week and this week? Are people showing up at all?
Yes, but they did not show up today,
Okay,
Yeah.
where they should have.
okay.
Do they have a requirement to how many people on a job?
No,
No,
that's
No,
just
and that's
about,
why
it's
they're
just a
sending
performance, yeah.
somebody.
yeah.
They just send somebody to make it look like they're performing, because as long as they have somebody on the job, they can claim that.
And this one person, let me ask a super question, this one person, is he up on the roof by himself?
Well, that's against.
It's not meeting OSHA requirements, yeah, I mean,
You can have, as long as that straps on.
Are they meeting all the other requirements of safety and harness protection and everything, fall protection?
You can have one person.
They are, okay. Any
And
questions?
like I said, they ended up having 2 people the one day, but,
Who's the contractor on that?
United Roofing.
Niagara?
United
United.
Roofing, yeah.
United,
Are they
okay.
local?
Yeah, they were on.
Yeah, they're out of like Orange or something,
Okay.
yeah.
They were on.
So the town attorney, we're gonna get the town attorney.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I don't know if it's,
It's time to.
I mean, I don't know if we wanna
Time.
make a
Well,
motion or anything, I don't know if we need to, or just,
No,
you
it's not our
just need to.
concern at this
That's
point.
not,
Yeah,
It's not our concern.
Yeah.
During this time, are the haulers still have to do it one side of the?
Well, that's my next question is, what is the impact with the haulers? With the guys who,
the impact to the haulers is the fact that right now, that is not the impact to the haulers. They did the vertical section, which was impacting the haulers. Now they can get up on the roof without having to block either
Without blocking them, dropping off anything?
So initially, the vertical section was impactful to the haulers, and it took longer than it should have.
They actually, well, yeah, they had one guy that was doing that with
Okay.
themselves, and that took probably a little long.
Okay.
So that was an impact to the haulers. The roof is not impacting the haulers at this point.
Now we got another issue.
The thing that's impacting the haulers is the compactors. We have
Yeah.
one compactor that has been down. They've sent, twice they've sent, technician down there, to troubleshoot it. and-
From Canada?
No, from Boston.
They have a service tech in Boston?
They have a tech that they
Okay.
use out of.
Because when we got this bid originally, we weren't sure where the tech
That
would
was
be.
the problem with the program.
Yeah.
and all that. That
Not
was-
going with a Canada company, so
Yeah.
we wanted to go with sanitary equipment. Me too.
But this is what I'm hearing.
So where are we at with it now? I mean, I read an email, from Lisa, just that had been forwarded out to the commission and stuff, basically.
You got it.
Yeah,
You got it.
just saying, like, you know, that it basically
I said it
hasn't been
every
running since it was installed. So where are we?
The south compactor has been down,
Specifically, one has been very troubled.
has been very troublesome. It has been, inoperable since, I believe, the 28th of March. So we're going almost on 2 weeks now.
Is this under a service contract with compactors?
This is under a warranty
There's a warranty on it, though, yeah.
now.
But this is a section of the compactor that's not under warranty, right? That's what you explained to me the other day.
Until they figure out what exactly is the problem, then there'll be a discussion or, as to whether it falls under warranty or not.
Is it
They'll find a
This,
way to make it not.
this compactor, lost the phase, electrical phase, there's 3 phases. So this compactor had lost the phase due to the birds, on top of the transformers.
That was an issue like 3 months ago.
It was probably more than that.
Okay.
Almost a year now. And, it created, loss in the phase, a lot of controls burnt up. They ended up replacing the controls. Probably about 4 months ago, the motor, shorted out. Now, that could be due to the fact that you were running that motor on only 2 phases and basically exacerbated the, failure of it.
Did they not warranty that?
So they're claiming that's, and to a certain extent, they have legitimate, thing, it's not designed to run on 2 phases, if it's a 3-phase motor.
How much was the motor repair?
I don't have that number
Okay.
exactly on, but we ended up sending it out and having it,
Rebuilt.
rebuilt.
How long was it down?
They came down, we had a spare motor on site.
Good.
They sent the individual from, their tech from Boston, down. He changed out the motor, figured out what it was, changed out the motor, got everything up and running. One day that he came down. Might have taken 2 days or so to get down there, though. What we have been having issues is monitoring the Scada system, which is a supervisory control.
That's a Scadia system?
The Scada system.
Scada, okay.
It's a supervisory control and data acquisition system.
But they're not monitoring that.
This is something that was an option to buy, to get when they were installed.
Yeah, I remember that.
At the time, they said no, it wasn't worth it to do. When we started having issues with the south compactor, which were certain pressure issues, basically said, okay, sign us up for this monitoring system. Since we signed up, we haven't really been able to monitor. I think it worked for a little bit, but we started having an issue with the full light. When the trailer is full, based on the pressures that's pushing on it, that tells them, okay, you got your 19.5, almost 20.
That was a programming problem.
Then
Was this, I'm sorry, was this a computer that that when Mike was still here?
Right.
That he said we needed to add after we got the contact?
Yeah.
So that's the computer we're talking about?
That
Well,
was,
it may be,
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it could be the monitoring, it's monitoring system. So I
Okay.
can look at from my desk, I can see, you know, how full the trailer is based on the pressure.
because we were sending trailers out half full.
Well, that was with the old compactors.
Okay.
They were small.
Oh, the defective one. Okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, John.
So I can, you know, see how full it is when they change out a trailer, when they shut it off,
And
to
it's
change
manual, or if you look at it and just observe it.
Yeah, and the idea was that they can remotely from Canada also look at this as help troubleshoot it, is what my feeling was. So it's like, okay, we're worth the $900 or so per unit per year or something like that.
But they're not doing
The pressures, for some reason, they have not been able to get pressure readings, even though the compactor was working and filling up and everything, since December. We have been unable to actually get the pressures and the light come on saying the trailer is now full. So from their operation of the Enviros, they're able to say, okay, this should be about full at this amount. And they've been hitting it pretty close. But they don't have the pressure that turns the light on saying that the trailer is full. Now we have the problem where the compactor just is not quite working. And now this is where we're fighting with them on that. And authority on their side, and sending the emails to document things of getting this thing up and running. As I said, we're about 2 weeks down with it. They've had 2 techs come down already, and they're saying that they need the last email I got from them was, I think this morning, that said they're waiting on a part now, which could be another 1 to 2 weeks.
Is this mechanical breakdown?
I don't know exactly what part it is that they're looking to replace, whether it's the hydraulic pump, whether it's.
Well, that was a problem with them.
Whether it's hydraulic pressure, regulators.
So in their
What about-
contract, do they have
I
any
would not-
requirement? Do we have any requirement that they have to keep these machines running? Do we have anything
We
to?
have a
Well, you have one more
warranty.
backup, the north one, right?
Well, we have the north one.
But that hasn't shut down as often as the south one, right?
No, the north one's been
Been
running fine. It shut down once where the line had to be spliced. There was a break in the sensor line. They sent the guy down, and.
Okay, John, can you hang on 1 second?
Yeah.
Can we have members of the
I
public?
just want to ask a question.
Make a
We're on
comment,
this
or,
spot here.
yeah,
How old is this unit now?
how what?
How old?
It's young.
It's less than 2 years, right?
Yeah,
Less than
2 years.
It's less than 2 years
Less
old.
than 2 years. And I remember being in front of this commission, and not everybody here that was here at that time, and begged you not to do this because of these issues that we've had.
Oh,
And we knew this going in, and they still went in this direction.
well, we did,
We, as a commission, we didn't, it was the town that.
I understand.
Yeah,
It was
okay,
the town
no,
that
I just
said-
wanna make
yeah.
sure it's clear.
Because we called the,
John didn't buy it either.
we called the director and the DPW at the time, and we had major concerns with
And we have-
purchasing going this way, but there was
That was a
nothing.
done
Okay.
deal. They overrode it.
Yeah.
All right, John, so what's it doing right now to the operation?
It's hindering us greatly. We're, in order to try and,
Are they dumping everything on the tarmac, or
no, we're accepting the MSW in the morning, and then, till 12:30, and then we switch over to the recycling in the afternoon, and just using the north compactor. And then we'll have
And you notified all the haulers and all the,
Lisa lets them know daily as to when there was up and running.
you mean when they come in with the truck, that she lets them know? Do they get a notice ahead of time so they know what's gonna happen with that day's collections or anything, or no?
Well, right now, the word is that
So
it's not working.
there's increased waiting time for
John,
them.
I imagine you've read the original contract and the warranty and everything. It's what is our recourse? I mean, are they doing what they're supposed to in your eyes? I mean, although it's bad and slow?
I think they're trying to figure out what it is. I'm having a difference of opinion with their service manager. I've linked in copying their president so that he's aware of it also.
Do they understand how detrimental it is to have this down?
I've stressed that several times, so the hardships that is creating with the operations.
I think the question is, does warranty or the service contract or whatever have any remedies for service?
I don't think a performance bond would
No, not a
go further.
performance bond, but
So a
sometimes
warranty.
there would be- No, a warranty would often say, if you have, this issue, it's covered by the warranty.
Mhm.
And these are the exclusions from the warranty, and here's the disruption for service. Sometimes that's negotiated, sometimes it's not, it depends.
Oh,
But-
like feedback for the
Yes,
service
yes,
plus
you
the
have a
service?
chargeback if you have an issue. And so I'm just wondering if it
We should get a
has
copy,
any
right?
kind of remedy
What?
built
Of
in
the warranty.
or.
You'd have to play the.
Penalty for
Yeah, penalty for
I have not the
downtime,
original contract.
warranty.
Yeah, we should get a copy of it.
So,
No,
So there's no penalty or remedies?
not a contract for that.
Chuck.
And as, like you say,
Okay.
until they actually repair it, to know whether that is causing is under warranty. Obviously, they have certain things that are not warranted.
but all the
But-
service
but the
work
big-
should be covered by the warranty.
Well, that's my argument, although
Yeah.
they have invoiced me, but I'm not paying it.
No,
Their feeling is, well, this machine has been damaged due to this whole drop in phase, which has caused problems.
Are they still saying that?
They have claimed that, which I.
It is a serious issue.
Or have we challenged that? Do we,
Yeah,
have we?
yeah, I sent it saying that
Beyond the motor,
beyond the
What-
electrical stuff, I don't feel.
correct, I would say, all
The
right.
hydraulic issue has nothing to do with phases.
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem of buying a product from a company up in Canada that we can't go to somebody else. John, could you provide us a copy of the contract that we have with them?
I guess the original purchase
The
agreement.
commission needs to have a copy of it.
I will say, as a representative of a lot of manufacturers, if something is designed to be run on three-phase, it needs to be run on three-phase.
yeah,
I mean,
irrespective
you're
of
very
whether
well
there's
aware of
birds on it or whatever.
No, I understand that, but I don't want, it sounds like they're gonna use this as an open-ended excuse for the next 10 years.
I think the three-phase would go beyond, any electrical component that would have an argument. Hydraulic pistons and things like that are not, whether they have the right voltage to them or not is not going to,
If you're losing a phase, and torque is an important part of it, you're operating without enough torque, though, right? I mean,
The phase, in my opinion, in my argument, the control is burnt up. My understanding is we replaced the controls. And we paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, and I would say that's right. 6 months later, 8 months later, whatever it was, the motor crapped out. I can understand that could be a result of running that motor for an extended period of time on two phases, which, overheated and affected the installation of it. We replaced the motor, so I can say.
Well, we replaced it.
So we paid for it.
Did they accept us replacing it?
We had their.
They replaced it, we paid for that.
But
We accepted that,
We accepted that.
that it could have been from the phase.
And they did not claim at that point that we damaged the equipment
It wasn't
for
warranted.
them.
Well, we ended up having their technician replace the motor.
Okay.
Now, unless there's something else in there electrically that was never changed out and damaged, then they have to prove that to me. Otherwise, I'm looking on it as your hydraulic issues, which has nothing to do with a phase, of loss in phase.
John, is there a record of maintenance that goes on every periodic that they approve of and they bring somebody to maintain? You gotta maintain, like change oils, whatever, fluid.
Well, they must have a maintenance schedule.
Is there do you have that?
Yeah.
Maintenance schedule? Has that been followed?
So what's it not doing? it's a question.
It's not operating right now. So they've been down here doing inspections and repairs for it.
And how often?
We've had them down here several times since I've been here.
I'm gonna,
I'll say about between changing the motors and going through it and
But I'm talking about a regular maintenance schedule, just to look at it, except somebody to see what's going on, what's the process, what's going on with this machine. Because the other one is, the north one is fine, right?
we had one issue with the north one.
Yeah, so this,
And
they're the same
that was
manufacturer,
where-
they're the same
right.
compact, so there's something going on here.
They're the same manufacturer, same compactor, they do operate a little bit different settings of pressures, because they adjust the pressures to fill it to a certain.
I could be wrong, but I thought with this bid, there was like a service agreement.
Yeah.
That was like an extra 40,000
Yeah,
or something, and I
we
thought
did
we
get
were
it.
getting that, right?
We had that.
A 3-year
Yeah.
warranty.
That's what you're
Okay.
saying, it's a 3-year warranty.
Yeah.
we paid for
For
it.
parts and labor.
Yeah,
But
So
so
my
maybe,
argument is, fix it.
yeah.
Okay, did the phase drop affect the north compactor at all?
No.
no.
So it's only affected one. And number two, a follow on Andrew's question, is the town attorney been apprised of this? Is he involved in this?
We gave them a heads up that we had issues with it. So I've been gathering information, on this from purchasing to have them give me all the warranty information and.
Okay, so you'll provide us a copy of the
That's what
contract.
I've been working.
Any other commissioners, any questions? Any members of the public, go ahead, Tim.
I was gonna ask about the hydraulic pressure. I assume the hydraulic pressure went down with that, when it was operating in 2-phase, or is that not correct?
This was way before my time.
Okay. I mean, I would
Only
think
2
that it
years,
would,
yeah.
that would be a precipitous drop in hydraulic pressure, which makes the unit work if the motor's not operating.
But that's what I'm talking, if it was maintained and it looked at and checked out regularly to see
But
what's
that's,
going on.
we had a contract for that.
They were
Any other
supposed to be doing
I mean, I know where you're going with it. I also think a drop in hydraulic pressure is not nearly as bad as a spike in hydraulic
No.
pressure. So,
Though when you're trying to push that stuff through, that's.
Yeah.
Unless it leaks out and the pistons,
That's a different.
the rings.
but the bigger issue is more that it's just not running at all. It's not even the fact of who's paying for it right now, just fix it,
Fix it.
I'd like to know which one's north and which one's south.
The north one's the north.
Check your
south.
compass.
Which is the closest to the
water. The north one's closer to.
Right.
The trees, the north is closest to the trees.
The south one would be the homeowner drop side.
Right,
Exactly, the homeowner drop side.
That's the one that's broken.
Yeah, the close one is
The close one is
The
broken.
south one always.
So the close one is broken probably because it's overused. It's got garbage going through it 24/7, and the other side only goes half it as recycling only go through it. So it's probably just worn out.
Sure, because the other side was the one that we were switching over to recycling most of the time.
Scott, if we look at that, is that a possibility?
The south one does get more usage.
Heavier usage.
Has the contract, has the manufacturers said that? I mean,
No.
okay.
I've operated compactors for 5 years, would never have them do anything to them.
Yeah.
This is the
Change the oil maybe
And
We had two compactors there for 40 years, we'd have to do it.
And this is,
Right, Davey?
our problem as a commission is we had compactors in there for 40 years, we had compactors in there for like a year, and now we're 2 years
They
in
were
on
too
these.
small. They were too
Yeah,
small.
so
They were gonna get
it's
rid of
really, it's an issue. I can tell you, I've gotten, like a lot of questions from just public people, like, hey, what's going on down there? I mean, it's becoming a topic that, we're gonna have to get in
It's
front of.
disconcerting,
Very.
for everybody.
Here's my other issue.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have a lot of it.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
And you always leave me for the end, but I'd like to know,
We're not at the end yet.
we have 3 employees from Enviro, correct?
Correct.
And we have 2 yard horses, correct?
Correct.
And okay, so why did it take 40 minutes to change the trailer?
What? What's the question?
Why does it take 40 minutes to change the trailer?
Oh, I don't know.
I have tickets that show 40 minutes my employees are waiting to change the trailer. I have tickets from All American Waste, a private company, 10 minutes. We're in and out in 10 minutes. So now, we have the roof, we have the compactor, we have Enviro. I spent $300,000 on a truck to lower my carbon footprint and pack both materials at the same time. Now I have to send them to the dump at 11 o'clock, and then back to my yard, and then back to the dump after 1, because you can't operate this
Why
correctly.
do you send them back to your yard?
Well, they could sit there and idle.
I think it's sit there and turn the engine off.
You can't sit there and turn the engine off when it's 20 degrees or 30 degrees.
They won't let us sit there. They make us
First
go back
of
to
all,
12:30.
they're letting us sit there now, but it's only a matter of time before there's another issue down there.
Why does it take 40 minutes to change a trailer? Is that right, John? Does it?
That's what it is,
That's Enviro's.
Here's the deal.
It's Enviro.
It's
What?
Enviro's deal and nobody's watching or nobody's.
Well, it's
As far
Enviro,
as
but.
I'm concerned, there should be one employee pull the trailer out, and bring it to the scale, while the second employee put the new trailer in. Not 40 minutes. What they're doing is 2 guys are doing nothing. One guy pulls the trailer out, he goes to the scale, weighs it, comes back, then he goes and puts another trailer.
And you can't dump while they're
You
doing it?
can't dump. They put the machine across both doors and nothing gets done. So then everybody's piled up. Everybody's piled up.
And how often does that happen?
Every day.
Almost every day.
Is that right?
Almost every
John,
day.
John, do you think that this is something that we could look at and take up with Enviro? I mean, only because, it's obviously, it's a concern of.
Well, it's costing them time and money.
But, these guys are our business here, right? I mean, so, we need to make sure, especially with down compactors and things like that, if there's, during that time especially, more than ever, if there's something that can be done to help
Time out.
speed up.
Jimmy, is that a recent development? How did it happen?
Has that always been that
It's
way?
been happening since we started the roof, so 9 weeks.
Oh, okay,
So 9 weeks.
Right, because before then, they had a compactor, one compactor, the other one would always be running when they're swapping the trailer.
Always running.
So maybe it's something that we can at least bring up, especially with the compactor down on.
So-
One guy changes the whole thing. He takes the trailer, he goes out, then he weighs it, then he comes back, and he parks it, then he gets the new one, then he goes and he puts it on. Instead of just pulling it out and the other guy.
Why can't he just pull it out, drop it, and put a new one in?
That's what we wanna know.
All we wanna know.
That's all we wanna know.
Can he do that, John? Can he
There's
just pull it
3
out?
employees. Why one of them can't be in the other one?
What are the
It's
other
beyond
two
me.
doing? What are the other 2 doing while the one guy's doing?
One of them is sitting up in the machine across the space, sleeping or on his
They're gonna
phone.
have contract
The other
requirements.
guy's walking around.
Yeah, I mean.
And the other guy's down on the.
That's something
Oh,
legal.
hold on, guys, hold on.
Hang on, one at a time, guys, one at a time, go ahead, Mike.
That's something Lisa can take care of, she's supervising that.
Well, she's down
No.
below though, she can't do that.
Licensing also, before you start jumping on it.
Yeah.
They have a guy that might be a new guy who's not gonna be driving a tractor.
Then we don't need him.
Or backing up.
Why do we have to put up with teaching somebody on the job? Lisa has told me that she has tried to straighten this out, and they told her that they don't work for her.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she has gone to bat for us and done what she can, but the guys do not respect her, and they do not treat her with dignity, and they tell her, basically, you're not her employee, they don't work for her.
who is his supervisor?
So-
John, hang on, 1 second, please, I'm sorry. Who supervises the Enviro guys?
Maybe it might be, why, on the next time we have a meeting.
Yeah.
I think next week, I'll invite.
That's what I was just gonna say, that's a great idea.
Yeah, let's not, we can't do this, so.
Yeah.
No, I understand, no, I like this idea.
That's a good idea,
I'm
yeah.
assuming the Enviro guys are also under a contract.
Yeah, they were the only ones that bid it.
They're the only-
Not necessarily the ones we wanted.
Okay, John.
They're being.
Hang on, we gotta get that
That
contract
is
first
not
before that
appropriate.
meeting.
And they also should.
We gotta
be
get that
aware of
contract
you
before
know.
that meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I understand his point, a new guy, that still leaves 2 guys.
Yeah.
There's
So-
still 2 qualified guys to be able to move the trailer.
Not all.
They're all come from transfer stations. They
Then
all
why are
work
they
transfer
employed
stations.
with
They
her?
all
Well, why,
work.
yeah, why are we
Well,
paying?
I
Why
think-
are we
Why are we
paying them?
paying for this new?
Time out, what, guys, we gotta,
Let John.
all right,
Yeah,
let's one person talk at a time.
John has the floor.
I don't know if all of them are Class A drivers. One of them may be able to be a machine operator.
Yes.
One of them, may be for directions, and maybe hopping in the machine. I am not aware whether all of them are Class A drivers.
One thing we could look at, which, again, I think if we had a chance to have the the current Enviro contract is does it, what were the requirements that we've set for the employees that are down there? Because if it lists, 2 operators / drivers or something, then 2 of them should be able to do that, and then that would be where we could go back to them
Yeah,
possibly.
I understand the frustration of the haulers, because you guys you're losing money that way, but they're not working for the haulers, they're working for somebody.
Joe,
I
we have to,
understand.
let him finish.
I understand his point.
Jamie, time out, finish.
No, so again, it's another topic, I think, I would like to see the Enviro representative here, if we could have him. And I think maybe having the contract
We need a
ahead of
contract.
time, that we can at least
Yeah.
understand it, and
What
so
are the
he.
requirements?
Okay, Jamie,
There's still 2 yard horses.
we
One is
understand.
connected to the trailer that's in the pit. And when you pull it out and it's full, why can't that operator jump in the other one and back the empty?
I agree that,
Before he goes to the scale.
I agree,
That's
but
all I want. I don't care if he weighs them all day long. I don't wanna wait while he's going.
I understand, we
to
understand.
With all the other issues that are going
They're
down.
not
So,
working,
if they
they're
don't
working
have-
for somebody else, they're not working for you, they're not working.
Joe,
I'll tell you what,
second,
I would ask,
Okay.
I would ask if we
Tim,
could
please, one
present,
at a time. Go ahead.
I would ask that he join the next meeting if he can, and perhaps in the meantime, if you could recap that concern and see if there's any possibilities for XYZ to help speed this process up, and maybe send his response to us.
But also send
Just-
the contract.
And then, yeah,
Tim,
Now, I have a question. Enviro is employed, they are contracted by the town of Fairfield. Who is their direct, so they work for someone in Fairfield? Who's their
I
direct
just asked him
supervisor?
that, he's gonna let us, he's gonna find out.
It's you, okay. So they're not, they're just, well, so they work for you.
They're independent contractors
Understood.
working for the town of Fairfield to manage the operation.
Reporting the job.
They don't report to Lisa, and she technically doesn't control them.
She runs it.
What?
Lisa is in charge of it.
Well, then
She's in charge up there too?
She's in charge of the.
She's full-time.
she's not their director,
No, no.
she's not,
employed.
Lisa is a town employee, full-time, who is in charge of running the transfer station.
Okay,
They report to her then.
They,
But the workers for Enviro don't.
but they told her, but I saw, I heard somebody say that they told her, we don't look for you.
No, because they're rude and they're disrespectful.
Oh,
They
okay.
want to do
Yeah.
Okay,
bidding.
all right,
So
okay.
I think the
so
whole
it,
issue
it,
is,
it could be Lisa can call up the Enviro manager and say, this is not happening, get your guys to do it. Some guys are more receptive. There are guys that, whatever you want, Lisa.
All right,
I
so
think
could I give you another request?
Issues with
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I agree with Andrew, we need to see the contract and the guy should come
Thank
in
you.
here next
So could I
month.
give you another, we need that contract too.
Right.
Yeah.
Before the guy comes.
but just in the meantime, if we
Jamie.
can.
So
If-
you'd like
If
one
if
contract.
the roof was done tomorrow,
Let's just recap with, hold on one second.
I'm just asking an opinion.
So
If the
we'd
roof
like,
was done
hold on.
tomorrow, would this issue
Can
go
you hold
away?
on for 1 second, please?
No, now we're having the contractor issue.
Can we hold on for
Right.
1 second, please?
Go
So
ahead.
we're looking for the contract for the compactors with the warranty information. We're looking for the contract for Enviro with their regulations and what they're supposed to provide us. And in the meantime, because I would rather not have that wait for an entire another month
We can't.
when he could possibly meet with us, which would be helpful if he could, I would still like to try and address if there's anything we can do to be creative and find a solution based on some of the suggestions we've had to make those trailer swaps a little faster. It would be appreciated. Even if it's a little beyond their contract, just with the situation, it would be
Because these
appreciated.
guys have been waiting, every single
I know.
problem, you know that, John, every problem we have, they gotta carry the weight. They gotta keep waiting and waiting and waiting.
So,
And, hey, if I'm making $18 or $24 an hour, maybe I don't care, somebody's gotta pay that bill. They can't keep going to the homeowner and say, hey, so we gotta get it resolved.
That can be
Okay.
resolved, we could.
thank you, John.
Can we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
You want other?
Do we have, I'm sorry?
No, just any updates if you get them on the compactor.
And I wanna thank you for sending me that note. Would you continue to do that? Because as soon as I get it, I send it to the commissioners.
Okay.
I didn't really take the time to study it, so I just sent it out so that, I did have one question. And I think Misty asked me, what happened to the other 2 compactors that we pulled out of there?
They went back to the.
No, I don't think so. I'm asking a question.
They were
No.
scrapped, if I
They was-
remember
yeah.
correctly.
We
That's right.
we were
lost
told that
them, we lost them
nobody
totally.
wanted them.
They didn't
So,
want them, they were small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The whole basis of,
So hang on, so those two compactors that we paid for, that we found were
He wasn't here.
undersized.
Yeah,
No, I know he wasn't,
Yeah.
The question was, is there any possibility they're hanging around down there that we could use
No,
them?
It's a
they
different
dumped
make,
them.
it's a
They
different
dumped
thing, it's
It's a
not.
different manufacturer.
Okay.
They were small, they were useless.
Okay, next,
Somebody-
procedures, go ahead, do you have
I
another?
don't know if you wanted other information. That was-
Go ahead, yes. John, anything you wanna tell us?
If it's a
tell us.
problem, we don't wanna hear it.
you got the floor. Do you think there's anything we missed on?
I have other information to give you.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
We'll take it.
The stickers have been ordered.
Thank you.
Good.
They're a little bit more expensive because the fees went up and then also the sizing, but,
What the original price was, what, 5,000?
it'll be about $5,200. It was a
Okay.
little under
No big deal.
$5,000 before, so
Yeah.
we'll get that done, take care of that.
And when are they gonna be out? When are they gonna be
I
ready,
think
you
they
know?
said 3 to 4 weeks for them initially, that they're gonna, for printing them up. We have a contamination issue for recycling.
Uh-oh.
I had 3 trailers that were, cited as, excessive contamination for recycling at Oak Ridge. This goes back to, I'm sure, the plastic bags, which hopefully will educate people as well as our haulers to remove the, plastic bags. It's also individuals who will come in and say, oh, I just have recycling, and they'll throw some other kitchen garbage in there in the recycling bins also. It may be something to consider to just start charging, the people the same fee as we're charging for garbage. So that it's not like, hey, I'm gonna beat the $6 fee, and say it's just recycling and throw that extra bag or things that don't belong in there. But,
How frequently does this contamination issue occur?
I am starting to be concerned with it where it happened 3 times in March. And it was towards the latter half of March. So 3 trailers.
So what did Oak Ridge do?
55 tons.
They didn't accept it?
They charge us.
They charge you?
They charge us,
Right.
contamination.
Right.
How much is the fee?
The shelter?
Could get,
It's in Shelton. So
If they charge it.
65, it's a per ton fee.
Yeah.
ton fee, right.
Do we have any way
55
to,
on top of the,
It's $65 to charge.
On top of
us.
ton.
do we have any way to verify that it actually happened?
They looked at it.
No, do we have any way to verify?
not really.
If they turn around and say, okay, I have a trailer here, and we're saying there's too much contamination, and I say, okay, well, please put it on the side and someone run up there to look at it. I'm not questioning it. I mean, I see the plastic bags and stuff getting dumped in there from recycling. They need to clean up their market.
I think John's absolutely right. It's appalling what's going in those containers. It's just disgusting, especially the amount of just gross contamination on, they're throwing away plastic food containers filled with food. They're throwing away.
Who's they?
Everybody.
Our community.
But it's not just, think about it, you've put up blue recycling containers at every gas station in town. Not everybody is being as proactive.
No, but we're talking
They all wind up at
about
the
the
same.
recycled containers down at the transfer station.
No, you're talking about
Both.
what gets dumped though, primarily.
What the haulers are picking up, and also what residents come in and say, this is recycling, but, so you don't have to pay a $6 fee, and let me throw in some other.
So do haulers have to monitor that, or do homeowners how do we do that? What do we?
Well, that's the whole idea of your educational committee,
Right.
where we're buying these stickers to let people
Right,
know.
right.
But I'm also saying, I would expect the haulers, they're seeing that there's plastic bags. We all know you can't have something in a plastic bag. Oak Ridge is not gonna rip apart a plastic bag and say, okay,
Right,
yeah, it was
sure.
just full of recyclables. If it's a plastic bag, it's gonna be shown as being
Trash,
contamination garbage.
FSW, yeah.
So that's something that has to be stressed to where
That's not the way it started out. Winters put out a video in 2013, and it's still online. Plastic bags are not a problem. And the CRRA closed the garbage museum in 2011. So you've got a generation of kids that are now adults that don't know how to recycle, and their kids don't know how to recycle. That's all this is, lack of education. We gutted this program, and if you go online, Winters says they recycle 95% rate.
This is Winter, W-I-T-E-R?
Yeah.
Winter?
Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge, okay.
May 7, 2013.
Well,
Not an issue.
they were recycling 95%?
That's what they claim. They can recycle up to 95%.
That was from 2013?
2013.
And that was before,
National Sword.
that was before China shut the door.
Exactly, right, yeah, they were still taking.
Right,
The whole thing was, you know,
the market was good.
back then, they
Yeah.
went to single stream.
Yeah.
This-
Yeah, no, we should have never gone to single street,
You used to have your tin, and your newspapers was in a paper bag.
Right.
You had some plastic bottles, 1s and 2s, and then you had some cans. And it was
This
very straightforward.
This is nationwide, we have that issue.
Then recycling turned around and said, hey, we're giving you money. And we went to the single stream, a toter, and people were told, if in doubt, put it in recycling, because we're getting money from it. Well,
Now you're
China
wrong.
shut the door, and we all know the markets went to hell. So now, it's gotta go back to the old kind of thought, we can only recycle these items. You can't throw.
Which is why we have that educational
And that's
thought, right? That's why we did it.
You're never gonna get back out, you're never gonna get out of single stream at this point, so it's best to just
Right,
educate.
and the plastic bags are not acceptable. They're not gonna go through and open them all up.
So we'll have to know what impact this education makes, let's say a year from now. and
When
see-
we get charged for a bad trailer, you're paying the trucking plus 65 a ton?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's still less than what we're paying,
It's
Plus.
close to the same.
Actually,
Still pay
no,
more.
it's not.
It's more.
It's more.
more.
because
Yeah,
the
you
truck
pay
is
double.
much shorter
Yeah.
than,
Oh,
It's more, yes.
We paid
Okay.
double.
What is the per ton fee for recycling?
it goes up and down per quarter. And I don't even know what it is this month because I haven't gotten the price. But it can go from $40,
Still under
40 and
100.
change up to $88.
Yeah.
and then we'll pay an additional 65 a ton if
No,
it,
no, they'll charge you.
oh, okay.
So right now, what they're
It's
charging.
65, but it could be
it's
100 or whatever, yeah, okay,
Now, it's in the, right now, this quarter, it was in
Got
the
it.
40s.
okay.
But I don't know what's gonna be next coming quarter. It changes.
So John, you were saying that we should consider charging residents to recycle as a way to force the education.
Throwing it out there to think about, because there's one thing, you know, I think they might have charged years ago, I wasn't here, but then we were making money, so it was like, bring as much
Yeah,
as possible.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
Now, it's a fee. For a
the whole
while,
transfer
for
station
a
used to be a
while,
big moneymaker.
for a while, we were paying more to recycle than we were to
Yeah,
get rid of the
remember that.
garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was-
You know, and when you tell people, you know, half the stuff you're almost half the stuff you're taking and putting in recycling goes up to Oak Ridge, they turn around and then take it back down to.
Right.
And burn it. And, you know, and charge, you know, so they're trucking up, they're trucking down, and they're still charging.
But we legally can't bring it to Bridgeport, because we have to legally recycle.
We're under the statutes of the,
Yeah.
in the state of Connecticut to recycle these items. So I'm just throwing out there, maybe something that you might wanna start thinking about.
Is there a way to track this over a period of time so that we could say, you know, okay, well, this is justified because over the past, I don't know, 6 months or 12 months, we've ended up having to spend X as opposed to Y because of this contamination fee?
We'll see, look at the fees they charge us.
Well,
But that's what
they're all fees. The only reason why I'm saying this
Yeah.
is because now, the last 2 months, I didn't have any trailers.
All right.
But in March, I had 3 of them. So I don't know if they're trying to
Delay those months,
crack down a little bit
not as
and,
much garbage.
March is a heavy month.
Oh, no, but prior to that is, I'd say.
February
Yeah.
is a
February,
real light
May,
one.
yeah.
But that's taken into account.
It just seems like to impose a fee is easier to explain to people when you can justify it based on the cost. You say, well, we're recognizing that the trend in the cost is going up because of this contamination issue. And I believe other towns do charge their residents for the pleasure of, we have the beach sticker, the transportation sticker, but there's upcharges for different things, and I'm assuming it's because of these types of issues. So, is a way to incentivize residents to be more careful or to re-educate them, maybe we gather some data so that we can say, look, if this doesn't stop, we're gonna have to charge you, and,
That's right. Yeah, but that would be by the whole.
Hang on.
No, but
What is
I got a
that? What is that?
charge, right, he's saying he's
Chris
getting
is-
charged.
Yeah, but the haulers have to charge the homeowners.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
All right.
Go ahead. Becky.
I have a question. It feels like we're about to kick off an educational campaign.
I'm sorry?
We're about to kick off an educational campaign. Should we try that first and then see if we reduce?
Well, that's,
we're doing that.
that's what I'm saying, I think.
Right, that's Tim's point, is that we already have an educational program. Let's let that get going, and then let's see where it stands.
And the second point.
But John brought it to our attention so that we're available. I mean, we're aware of it.
It's on the DEEP website. It says, what does the law require my hauler to do? It requires the haulers to provide a warning notice to customers suspected of violating separation requirements. It requires them to, provide notice to not knowingly recycle the designated recyclables with trash. It requires them to assist municipalities to identify customers who are not recycling and are detected by the receiving resource recovery plant or solid waste facility if they're not recycling correctly. And it requires them to have their garbage loads inspected at solid waste facilities. So I would also ask
Becky, could you talk to the commission?
I'm sorry, I would also ask the haulers to be part of our educational program. Because I think they are the ones interacting.
Well, they are. They're going to be putting the stickers on. They're part of it. They are part of it.
I already sent that out on my bills, that flyer,
Yeah.
the week after we talked about it, the
Right.
day after.
Right.
And I even said to everybody that there's fines are gonna be imposed. And I got at least 100 calls or emails about it, and my guys even told me plastic bags that came out, so that's what you do, you tell people you're gonna get fined, and then they do it, that's what you do.
Right.
Reduction in plastic bags.
100%.
Right.
Okay.
Tell you.
It's working.
Okay. John, anything else?
On a positive note, since we've had a
Oh, nice, good.
we have the glass recycling, which, container at the transfer station. In March 7th, we emptied our first load. It was 4.1 tons.
How many?
4.1.
4.1?
Tons of glass. Since we emptied March 7th, we're about a month out, and we're probably about a third full again, so.
That was clean.
And that was clean. Well, again,
Plastic
I
bags.
have one of our employees, a couple of employees, visually check and pull out things.
On a periodic basis?
Yeah, so
Okay.
some people are, again, throwing in
Plastic?
food.
Yeah, but we didn't have anything sent back, it wasn't.
No, so, we use a picker and they try and pick it out to keep it clean, which is good, but for the most part, it's pretty clean. The other towns I think that are doing it is Westport, Trumbull, which includes Easton Monroe, using their facility, and I think, Milford, and I think there might be one other one.
And who accepted that place?
The glass is being picked up by Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge, and,
They are not charging us at this point in time, which I didn't see it on the, March invoice.
What's the minimum they pick
It's
up?
a pilot
Okay.
that they're doing, that they said that they would pick it up.
Is there a minimum amount, like 1 ton, 2 tons?
Well, we have a 30-yard container. and
Okay.
Like I said,
That's
when it
right,
was,
1.4 tons.
when it was over 3/4 full to 7/8 full, that was about 4 tons,
How long did it take to fill that?
about 3 months.
Oh, that's a long time.
I was just there this morning, and it looked like it's almost half full now.
Yeah, about third, too.
There's more glass out there than that, people
Oh,
are
yeah.
just dumping.
Well, they have to get used to it. They have to get used
Get
to
used
it.
to it, right.
But it's,
Okay,
it's.
start.
Well, it's all, yeah, I mean,
Good.
it's a great program, but people have to bring their glass choose a dump, so you're not,
But
it
now-
works, I mean, and I'm glad to see people using it. It's
Getting
just-
it out of the MSW
Yeah.
street.
I'll tell you what, taking, I'm in a condominium, it's taking the recycle out to the bin is so much lighter now. Because I'm putting the glasses.
Like,
And now we're talking about charging people to come down here, which means they're not gonna show up in the future.
what's that?
Right, is that what you're, I'm just throwing it in there.
Well, they would,
Go that
but
route.
if we're charging people, they would be paying the haulers, I mean, if you start charging for recycling, it would be across the board.
No, they go down there because it's free, right? We encourage people to go down there. Oh, don't take credit.
For recycling, yeah.
No, that's what you just brought up. I'm just throwing that out there as kind of, I know you brought that up, but the argument on the other side would be people are not gonna come down with their recycling if they pay. So just for future thought, I just wanted to give that.
They put in their.
Do they sort out the returnables in there?
I'm sure you have some.
That's
The whole idea of that program is to get people to go down there.
I know.
Incentivize them to go down there and fill up that
Bless you.
container.
Absolutely.
And if we start charging it, people.
Okay.
See what to do.
All right.
Anything else?
That's enough.
John, thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Becky?
Before we move off class, first of all, I think you guys have done an excellent job with this class, and
Yeah.
I would like to thank you guys for putting it in place and for doing it, it's really good. We are continuing outreach efforts, just so you guys know, Sustainable Fairfield on this to try to create awareness. But what we're hearing a lot of is that a lot of people who live in the north part of town don't want to come all the way down and spend 15 minutes in a car just to drop their class. So they've asked whether we can have secondary drop-off sites.
Like a satellite.
And the two high schools, Ludlow and Ward, have been talking with their principals. Some of these kids are very in eco-friendly clubs in their schools, and their principals have agreed to possibly look at a drop-off site. Now, we don't know how we can do that. John has to evaluate that, decide if it's safe, and there's lots of issues, but would the commission be open to a secondary drop-off site to encourage more people to drop off class? And if so, should we keep looking at these options? The other person who has expressed some possible interest is Dominic at ShopRite up on Black Rock Turnpike, which is in the northern.
Who's talking to Dominic? Who's talking to them?
Sustainable Fairfield is partnering with the commission and the outreach committee on this program. We're doing all the communication and outreach. All that's pretty much being done by us.
Like,
Well, I'm not saying, I don't want to imply that I'm totally against this, I'm not, it's worth discussing. There's just a lot of issues with having a satellite location. I mean, John just talked about his employees picking out some of the stuff that doesn't belong in there. People are gonna show up and start dumping everything.
right,
You're gonna
you have to
kitchen
police it.
sink and just something we have to really spend a lot of time talking about. Also, it brings in, other guests that we don't want, right? And
Well, dirty places.
locations, right? And
Dirty places.
especially if you're gonna put it at a school, you're gonna have, potentially rats and mice
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah, it has to be monitored. It's a nice, great idea, but
It
it
is.
requires.
I think we'd have to trial it, I agree with you, and there's some downsides, and I think there's some things we need to work through, and I think we maybe try it for.
Well,
That's not, can I just,
That's another
One
discussion.
quick question, do they have cameras at the schools? 'Cause you could have a camera looking at this.
Yeah, pretty much every part of the school does. But,
Guys,
can I finish?
yeah, this is not on the
Not an agenda, not an agenda.
We can bring this up another time.
Gotta go home.
We gotta get going. There are issues with, the schools are not going to want, people that don't have business in the school to be coming under the
Yeah, this
property.
came up
dropping
before.
stuff off. I know that for a fact.
Well, principals have agreed, actually.
I don't care whether the principals agree or not. It has to come back to the commission and give us a proposal. And this is one of the problems of somebody going out and saying that we're working with the Solid Waste Recycling Commission. This is what we wanna do. We don't know that we wanna do this yet.
We're not actually putting a proposal in front of you, we're informing you that we're exploring it, and we're getting your guidance as we go forward. We're not telling you to do it, we're saying, let's consider this, because right now we have residents telling us that they're not coming all the way down to the transfer station, because it's too far.
Let's put it on the agenda in the future.
Yeah, we have to put on the agenda and
complicated.
consider a proposal.
Yeah, let's go.
I just wanted to address, go ahead.
Nothing, you
I
wanna add
just
that
want to
to
address, we have three more things we have to discuss, the procedures regarding meeting cancellation. If I'm aware, and Kirsten, I was not aware that you had been sworn in
Yeah,
for
and
our
I
last
had
meeting.
assumed that you were.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and so
that's-
I take responsibility for that, and I was informed that there were not going to be enough people, Mike, at that meeting, which is why I had to cancel it. But later I found out that, I guess some of you had found out that Kirsten was sworn in, I didn't know that. I guess you had found out, Tim?
Well,
I wasn't sure, I just, it came, the cancellation came so late, I just, well, geez, who's not coming? I know at least 3 of us were gonna come.
Well, 3 isn't a quorum.
No, but there's.
Yeah, I had told you, I apologize, I had told you I couldn't.
Believe me, I didn't cancel it because I just didn't want to show up. I mean, I could just call in sick and say I'm not coming into work, right? The reason it was canceled is because I didn't think we'd have enough people. Like,
I think we need to have a process in place. If people are not gonna show up, we need to know who can't make the meeting.
Yeah.
This should be part of the record, and, you know, and that's part of our responsibility, is to come to meetings.
Right,
If you
because
don't come to
that's,
meetings.
because I assumed every time I've been in one of these situations, unless you say you're not coming, it's
You're
presumed
coming.
you are, because you've made a
Right.
commitment.
yeah, I mean,
Well, it should go to the whole commission, like, just an email, we've got a group, I can't make it this week, I can't make it, I can, if you can't make it, just let everybody
yeah,
know.
well,
So my reason that week I planned to attend, and that day something came up
And
and I
that's,
it's not, you know, it's seldom, but it happens, you know, and you called me, I didn't see the emails, you called me and I said, you know.
It only goes to
you
the
called-
chair.
the chair has to have,
Yeah.
and
Chair
I'm
knows,
sorry
that's all.
if I,
You don't have to tell
I
everybody.
let you guys know as soon as I do. It's
you're
like,
not, listen, people need to know who's not showing up.
Well,
Right.
the chair will
Because
know.
if you don't make meetings, you don't belong on the commission.
That's in the
Wait a
minutes.
You have to make a certain number of meetings. So in other words, you can't just say, we're canceling the meeting because we don't have a quorum, we have to know who could not attend. And I'm not saying, it's just the right.
well, it
thing
sounds to
do.
me like you guys all talk to each other, so you knew that you were attending. It's what it sounded like to me.
I don't have no idea what you're talking
We had
about.
a subcommittee.
The cancellation came from
No,
you.
you had a subcommittee meeting, so you discussed it.
I guess I would make it.
That has nothing to do with anything. Well, I'm just saying, you as a
Shouldn't we just
commissioner,
have a process, though?
That's it.
Either we
Well,
say,
it's all mixed.
either you want us to say affirmatively, yes, I'm attending, or no, I can't attend, or we presume that everybody's attending unless.
I don't think we need that. I think, like this evening,
we
Well,
can't
like to
cancel
see-
meetings at the last minute like that and just call it, and, you know, they're public, you know, the part of public record is part of public record who can't attend. That should be part of the public record
It's
also.
always gonna be written up. I've been
Well,
on this so many.
Yeah, but not last meeting, we don't, as
Well, the
that,
chair
as far as
makes
we know,
that
nobody
decision.
showed up.
The chair makes that.
okay, Mike,
Can I suggest just
one at a time, please, and I'll walk you through it. Go ahead, Tim.
that as commissioners, can we all agree that we have a responsibility to let you know if we can't make it?
Right.
If you don't hear from anybody, you've got to assume we're all coming.
Okay,
And
I
frankly,
did,
if you don't, but you only heard, you heard from one person, right?
no, I'm wrong. I heard from, I heard from,
I called you.
Oh, yeah, okay, so you.
I heard,
okay.
I couldn't make it, and I heard from 2 others
I
who couldn't
think
make
what
it.
happened was he saw that 3 people couldn't
And,
make it.
and I knew Kirsten wasn't part of
And he didn't know she
it.
was sworn in, that only left 3 more people.
So I knew that there was only gonna be 3 people here. And, time out.
I think he was trying to be respectful.
Time out. And I know John has a very busy schedule, and I know the haulers have a busy schedule. So I didn't want 7 people at the door finding out there's 3 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the best I could as to cancel it. And I'm sorry some people felt that I didn't communicate that, but, I know, for example, this evening, I got a call around, I don't know, what time did you call me, Misty?
She's off?
Misty?
She's gone.
She must have hung up.
Maybe you misunderstand, it's not the problem that when the meeting was canceled.
I'm sorry, Hugh, I was just on mute,
It's just that we need to have a process in place to know why it was canceled.
Okay.
If it was because the 3 of you couldn't make it and we weren't gonna have a quorum, that's fine. That's fine, it's not.
That's what I said. I said, we don't have a quorum.
Yeah, but that's, you just say we don't have a quorum. Who were the individuals who could not make the meeting? That's what we need to know. You have a
That
responsibility.
shows up in the minutes for the following time.
Where is it?
It comes up in the minutes. Who
Is
attended?
it in?
You want to
No,
put it
there
in?
wouldn't be minutes.
It's gonna be in the.
The theory is there wouldn't be minutes because we didn't have a meeting.
Guys, time out. You want to put it in the minutes tonight, that the 3
Sure.
people were able to come? Is that what you want to do?
Well, we should, yes.
Okay, I have
And
no
we should
problem
have
with
a process in
Mike,
the
I have-
future
I have no problem with that.
that we know why the meetings are canceled, not just it's canceled.
you know.
I don't have the email in front of me, but I think I sent out an email that said, because we won't have a quorum, I'm canceling the meeting.
Yeah,
But we would have had a quorum had you inquired.
No, we wouldn't have.
No, it was just, yeah, but.
You didn't
I-
ask me to
I
take
was
a
not-
poll, everybody.
This was just a communication issue. I literally had just gotten sworn in by Betsy, and I had presumed that it was, you're in unless you say you're not. So it was just a snafu, and I think because there were
Right.
three people, we were right at the edge of not having a quorum. So this was just a.
And again, that's all I'm asking, for a process in the future, so that we know why the meeting
Okay.
was canceled. Yeah, that's all, that's all I'm
Okay.
asking.
All right.
Not any-
Next item, I think we want to table that proposed charter change.
We
And,
don't have time for that.
and, John, I've been looking at different towns' charters. I'll say this to all the commission. I've been looking at different towns' charters, and to Mike's suggestion of two meetings ago, we want to strengthen it, but I'm having serious trouble as to how, and this is not against you, but I'm having serious issues that we're finding out of major logistical and operational issues too late. And then we have no muscle to do anything. And those are the types of things I think we have to somehow get into the charter and get into our mandate, is to figure out how to make us more involved, so that when things come up, the commission can help be participative and help solve, and not find out 3 weeks later, or 4 weeks later, or 6 weeks later, and then we're saying, gee, do we have any muscle? We should know whether we have a sanity. Do we have anything to fall back? We should know if we have a fallback. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? This is not against your position, or anything. It's been going on in this commission for several years, and we thought that it was going to change, but I guess the nature of the beast is these vendors you can't depend on. The operator up there, you can't depend on them. That everybody's trying to cut costs, everybody's trying to push the agenda, everybody's trying to push the envelope. I want to put that off until I do some more research. Mike, do you have any ideas?
Well, the other thing is, I believe the code,
What?
or the town code already gives us the authority that you're saying you're seeking. It's there.
To get involved in the
It's already
bidding?
there.
To
Yeah,
get involved in the
well,
bidding?
yes, it's already there. The only confusion is because you're in a position, your position has control over the budget. And it's disheartening to hear, like, we had an issue where they got the compactor and we were not included. We should not allow them to do that.
Right.
The code already gives us the authority. So, but to strengthen, I think what I was talking about is, let's take the code, maybe reword it a little bit, which I would really look for you to help us with that, and then get it into the charter. But it really doesn't matter. The code we already have the authority to do this.
The two issues I saw was, well, the first is some of the wording is a little different than some of the other commissions in town. And the other commissions in town, the fire department does not buy a fire truck without the commission. They don't hire someone without the commission. They don't, there's a lot more to what they do.
This department did a whole management change without any input from us.
But there's also, we allowed it to.
So, well, that's part of that, is that we need to make that stance. The other part that worries me a little bit is that because we're worded under, we're not in the same sections as the other commissions.
Right.
We were added later, and I think we need to push to get that into because we were added after the charter was written.
Correct.
We're in the town code, not the.
We're in the code, not the charter. We need to be in the charter, absolutely.
But again, I think that's kind of semantics in a way. I don't really think. But the real issue is, if you read our code that covers us, and then a code that covers the department, we have oversight, however, he has control of the budget. Mm-hmm. That's the part I think we have to fix.
We gotta fix that.
We have to have control of the budget, or not control, oversight.
Right.
Oversight, yeah.
Because I don't want control. We don't, John has to have control.
It's a lot more work. When I was on the building committee for 6 years, I mean, we approved all budgets and all that. That's a lot of work. I mean, maybe they never had it in the culture of this commission. And that has to be.
But I don't wanna sit here, and I don't think any of you guys wanna sit here and have issues
That's
come
a
to
lot
us
of-
that we had
a lot of
nothing to do with, that we can't even fix.
Then there's liability.
How do you
too.
fix? Because they've already signed these contracts.
Yeah, we had that with Mike Sembruski all the time, remember, we never knew what was going on?
No, we
Yeah.
knew after the fact.
I'm
a
in
lot
your
of
corner.
things, Yeah.
That was one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this as a manufacturer's rep, if I bid a piece of equipment for a town, a sealed bid, always the specs say the town has the right to reject all bids, you don't have to take low bid. When this compactor came in, when the bid came in, versus someone else, did this commission make the
No.
decision on that?
No, that was,
No.
we didn't even know, no.
So,
It came
no,
afterwards.
Who made
hold
the
on.
decision
So-
to buy
so-
low bid if they weren't
Was
qualified?
Purchasing.
So,
With the town.
hold on, the first set of undersized compactors got replaced without anybody knowing, and the town found money in the budget,
It was
and it was like $120,000
on
or
a
something, and they
Thanksgiving
replaced,
weekend.
and they replaced them, okay? So
Yeah.
then it was nothing but problems, the town put out a bid, and we were all over it because of issues from the haulers that we were hearing, issues from the public, and, but we basically,
Guys, what,
I'd have to go back to our vote, but if I remember correctly, we're not in favor of the bid that we were forced to take. And Brian Carey sat in the meeting at the time and basically said, this was low bid, you're opening the town up to a lawsuit, you have to go with them. And I was fought with you, I said, there's no way, I wanted the.
And we have all the controls, remember? We
Yeah,
have all the
yeah.
protections.
So we have all the protections and everything, and it was a major concern of ours, one, being far away, two, being a company we hadn't dealt with.
It also had to be approved by the RTM.
Okay, so can I do that? I'm gonna continue working on this. I'm gonna talk to Mike. we're gonna talk about this. I wanna make sure I put some of your ideas
Next
in.
time?
Okay?
Okay.
Before next
I
meeting.
just don't think I think we don't wanna make it too big of a project. It doesn't have to be.
Right, I
That's my
understand.
thought. It's really just take the code,
I don't wanna
move
change
it
it.
into the charter.
I don't wanna change it wrong. I wanna change it the right way though. We're only gonna get one shot to do this. Next item, solid waste recycling department plan. John, do we have a department plan for solid waste and recycling? The state says that we're supposed to report and give them a department plan every year. Do we do that?
Yeah, we send them,
Because I looked for it, I can't find it. I can't find it on the website.
Well, it should be online.
It's an annual report.
Yeah, we.
No, the department plan.
We do quarterly reports.
That's just telling them like the tonnage and stuff.
What we have.
We don't have a plan, Hugh. Remember that? Remember
Yeah,
Michael just
I can't find one. I cannot find a department plan. And the state DEP says that every municipality is supposed to be sending an annual plan.
Is that annual plan?
And-
We should
and
get
Michael
that.
gave us, and Michael Zambruski gave us the plan, and it wasn't a plan, it was the list of people's jobs, remember? That, we talked about that I don't know, 3 years ago?
Than a report file.
Oh, that's a budget, he used to give us the budget.
Could you find out and tell me what we send to Hartford every year? DEP, okay. Any new business?
That's it.
Yes.
I just want to ask the commission to put on the agenda for next month a proposal that we'll be bringing to you for food waste recycling.
For what?
Food waste recycling. We're just working through some issues on it because we don't.
Who's working on this?
I'm working with the outreach committee and John and the sustainable.
Okay, so the subcommittee's doing it.
But I'd like it on the agenda for next month.
Okay, so, you proposing this? The subcommittee?
Sure.
Okay, tell me what the proposal is?
I mean, I wasn't sure yet, but we didn't, because we had done the last meeting, I didn't know where we were with food waste recycling, but yeah, I think we should.
We're discussing
Between now and then.
You've been discussing that separately?
We'll just, what's that?
You've been discussing that already?
We've been doing it.
But you've been discussing it with commission members?
I'm a liaison to the commission.
But no, you've been discussing it with a commission, of the
Yes,
commissioners? Do we know that?
I am a liaison to the.
Yeah, I understand the liaison, but
committee.
do we know
And
that?
that's approved by this board, by the way, a year ago. In the minutes, you can go back and see that I was an approved liaison to the subcommittee, and I've been filling that role. Per
So how
the
often do
terms
you
of
meet?
what
Yeah, we
you
just wanna know when you meet and what you.
asked me to do. I'm just doing what you guys asked me to do and
Yeah.
approved in your own minutes.
So what is your proposal? What is your?
We don't have a proposal.
I'm asking you to put it
Gotta
on the
listen.
agenda.
Oh, you're gonna propose it next
All I'm
month?
asking is for it to be put on the agenda for next month, because we do not have the funding in place yet. We're not coming to you with a proposal today, because we don't know the funding, but we've been working through the details, and by next month, we will have a proposal. We'd just like it on the agenda, that's all I'm asking.
Well, before the next meeting, can I request to you that it's
Yeah.
on the agenda?
Yeah,
Well, then,
just so you
I'll
know.
do that now. if you want.
Just so you know, like Mike does, just so you know.
Yes.
Just so you know, that's all.
If you think back, we've already been discussing this in some form.
Mhm.
We were talking about the digesters, and we were talking about all this. It was all discussion so far, and that's where we're at. We
Yeah,
want
but this
more discussion.
This is beyond the education, this sounds to me like you go beyond the
That's
education.
another
Well,
subcommittee.
you know what, I was never clear on what the subcommittee was called.
The subcommittee
The three
is-
things we've worked on is the education, which we got, the glass recycling, which
And
actually John did,
food
and then the food waste. The food waste is, and that's where we got into the idea of applying for this grant, which I don't think,
We're not gonna do
it's not gonna happen, but those are the three major things we're working. The food waste is something that's sort of on the side right now, but yeah,
We need to designate it.
I think we should talk about it.
Yeah, we don't have, that's
I
a
didn't hear what
separate
you said.
subcommittee, yeah.
That's good.
We could designate a
That's
subcommittee
good.
on the
Yeah,
food waste.
Okay, so you'll send me an email,
What's that?
you're gonna send me an email,
I'll do that. yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it.
I need a motion to
I make a
adjourn.
motion again.
I'll second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
John.
Okay, for the next meeting?